Deep inside your body, right at this very moment, there are trillions of bacteria waiting to be fed. I want you to just stop and really think about that for a second. What those microscopic bacteria eat every single day completely dictates your energy, your immunity, your mood, and your long-term health. And here is the most incredible part. Every single one of the 10 foods those bacteria need most can be grown right at home. In a garden bed, in a simple container, or even just sitting on a sunny windowsill. You have the power to feed them starting today.
I really want that first statement to land with full weight. You absolutely do not need a massive farm or an expensive health food store to radically transform your gut health. Whether you've been gardening for decades or you've never planted a single seed in your life, you can grow exactly what your body needs to thrive. We are going to explore how to turn whatever space you have into your own personal garden pharmacy.
Now, before we dig into the plants themselves, let's clear up exactly what a prebiotic actually is. And honestly, the easiest way to think about this is just like a garden. You've probably heard a lot about probiotics. Those are the live bacteria you get from yogurt or supplements. We'll think of probiotics as the seeds, but as any gardener knows, you can't just throw seeds on barren dirt and expect a lush garden. Those seeds need fertilizer. Prebiotics, they are the fertilizer. They are the specific fibers and plant compounds that feed the bacteria already living inside you. If you don't feed those bacteria the right prebiotic fertilizer every single day, those good seeds will just die off. It's really that simple.
So what exactly is in this fertilizer? Well, there are 4 main compounds you're going to be growing. First is inulin, which is just a type of root fiber that heavily feeds your immune-boosting bacteria. Then we have resistant starch. Think of this as a sturdy, tough carbohydrate that completely bypasses your early digestion just so it can deliver fuel straight to your colon. Next is pectin, which is a very gentle, soluble fruit fiber that builds up incredible microbial diversity in your gut. And finally, polyphenols. These are just natural plant compounds that calm down inflammation. You don't need to memorize these names. Just know that these are the deeply nourishing, everyday foods your gut is desperately waiting for.
All right, let's start planting. First up in our garden pharmacy is garlic. Garlic is absolutely packed with inulin and a compound called FOS. These specifically feed the exact bacteria responsible for building your immune health and reducing chronic inflammation. And growing it is incredibly simple. Literally anyone can do it. Just take individual cloves from a garlic bulb and press them gently into a garden bed or even a deep container right in the autumn. By the following summer, you've grown a potent medicine. Now, the crucial thing here is how you eat it in your kitchen. To keep that prebiotic fertilizer intact, you want to eat it raw or simply crushed. Just stirring a single raw crushed clove into a little olive oil over your food can measurably shift your gut health. It's such a small, easy habit, but the rewards for your immune system are profound.
Moving right along, we have onions. Onions are actually the highest FOS vegetable we have available to us. But what's truly fascinating here is a compound they contain called quercetin. When you combine that fiber with quercetin, you are feeding the specific bacteria that work to soothe your intestinal lining. You know that sharp, pungent bite a raw onion has? Well, that sharpness is exactly what your gut bacteria are craving to calm down inflammation. To grow them, you just press those little spring starter sets, those tiny onion bulbs, right into the spring soil. They barely need any looking after. Try to eat them raw, maybe slice them on a salad, or just very lightly cooked in your dinner. It's an effortless way to bring deep comfort to your digestion, straight from your own soil.
Now, let's talk about a beautiful perennial, asparagus. Asparagus is the highest inulin vegetable we commonly eat, and planting an asparagus bed, well, that's a 20-year investment in your long-term health. You just plant the crowns once in a permanent spot in the yard, and they will reliably push up through the soil every spring for 2 decades. That high inulin content beautifully regulates your immune system, while another compound it contains deeply supports your kidney function, which is absolutely vital for us to protect as we get older. The secret to asparagus is a very light touch in the kitchen. You want to steam it for just 2, maybe 3 minutes. Keep it crisp to preserve that precious inulin. It becomes a wonderful springtime ritual that your kidneys and your immune system will thank you for year after year.
This brings us to a true, undeniable giant of gut health, the Jerusalem artichoke. Some folks call them sunchokes. This humble little root boasts a massive 19% inulin content. That makes it, quite frankly, perhaps the single most powerful prebiotic food on Earth. And the best part, it requires almost zero effort to grow. Just drop the little tubers into any soil, even in a shady corner of the yard in the spring, and they'll take off. Eating them gives your gut a massive boost of bifidobacterium, radically multiplying those beneficial microbes. You can slice them raw into a salad for a nice crunch, or roast them slowly in the oven. But a quick word to the wise, start slow with these. Your gut bacteria are going to be waking up to a feast, so let them adapt. Growing just this one plant can completely change the landscape of your gut health.
Now, the next plant usually surprises everyone. It's the humble dandelion. Yes, the weed. This is a free, wild garden hero that grows naturally, asking absolutely nothing from you. The secret medicine here is hidden down in the roots, which can contain up to 40% inulin when you harvest them in the autumn. That is an incredible amount of fertilizer for your gut. It offers deep, soothing anti-inflammatory support, which is wonderfully comforting if you deal with aching joints. You just dig up those roots, wash them off, roast them slowly, and grind them into a rich, earthy, completely caffeine-free coffee substitute. It's a deeply comforting, gut-healing morning drink that has literally been growing right under your feet all along.
Very similar to the dandelion is chicory. What's really fascinating about chicory is that it's actually the original source of commercial inulin. When you see prebiotics added to expensive store-bought foods, 9 times out of 10, it was extracted from chicory root. But you can just grow it yourself. It is incredibly robust, thriving even in poor soil or a shady garden patch. Just like the dandelion, you can roast those autumn roots for a fantastic coffee alternative, or you can toss the slightly better leaves into a salad raw. It is a remarkably easy, gentle way to improve your bowel regularity. And even better, it helps your body absorb calcium much more effectively, which protects your bone density. Having chicory in your garden is honestly like having a reliable lifelong friend.
Let's move on to a vibrant root vegetable that does beautiful double duty for us: beetroot. Beets provide a powerful combination of prebiotic fiber and a very special compound called betaine. Betaine works specifically to heal intestinal permeability. In simple terms, it creates a stronger, more resilient barrier in what we often call a leaky gut. You can grow beets so easily in the cool, crisp weather of spring or autumn. And the beautiful thing about a beet is that the entire plant is usable. You can slowly roast the roots, you can juice them, or you can snip off the leafy tops and cook them just like spinach. That combination of root and leaf deeply supports healthy blood pressure and gently heals your digestive lining. It's just a deeply nourishing addition to any dinner plate.
Here is a very gentle surprise for you: garden peas. Most folks love the taste of them, but very few people realize they are a fantastic source of resistant starch. Remember, this is the tough starch that arrives completely intact in your large intestine. It serves as direct fuel for the cells lining your colon, offering profound colon cell protection and powerfully lowering inflammation. And they're a joy to grow. Just plant them at the base of some simple wire supports in the early spring and watch them climb. Now, here's the real secret to maximizing that resistant starch. Cook the peas, but then let them cool down before you eat them. That simple cooling process actually changes the structure of the starch, turning it into the absolute perfect meal for your microbiome. Snacking on cool, sweet garden peas is really one of the simplest joys of early summer.
This brings us to kale. Kale contains a unique family of compounds called glucosinolates. This is important because it feeds a completely different subset of protective bacteria in your gut, bacteria that are strongly linked to your overall metabolic health and keeping your blood sugar beautifully balanced. Kale is an incredibly tough, resilient plant. It will survive cold frosts, and it grows happily in full sun or partial shade. The trick with kale is all in how you eat it. You must chew it thoroughly. Whether you're eating it raw in a salad or cooked in a stew, chewing breaks down the plant cell walls so your bacteria can actually access those compounds. It's a sturdy, wonderful companion for your gut health, keeping your metabolism resilient right through the colder months, which actually sets the stage perfectly for our final plant. And now, our final plant. I want you to just slow down and let this thought really sink in for a moment. The fruit most associated with summer pleasure turns out to be one of the most effective prebiotic foods available to any home gardener. Yes, strawberries. I think this is the most delightful revelation of all. Strawberries are beautifully rich in both pectin and polyphenols. Together, these promote vital, thriving gut diversity, and they deeply support your mood and your mental clarity. And you can grow them practically anywhere, cascading out of hanging baskets, in small patio containers, or right in your garden beds. Going out and picking a handful of fresh, warm strawberries from your own garden isn't just a sweet summer treat anymore. It is quite literally one of the most scientifically confirmed ways to protect your health from the inside out.
So you might be wondering, how do we bring all of this together without it feeling overwhelming? It's easy. Here is a beautifully simple, practical daily routine. In the morning, try replacing your regular cup of coffee with a warm, soothing mug of roasted dandelion or chicory root. In the afternoon, step outside and treat yourself to some fresh garden strawberries or a handful of cooled sweet peas. And in the evening, simply make sure you are tossing some raw, crushed garlic or some fresh onions into whatever you're cooking for dinner. Then just try working in those Jerusalem artichokes or beetroots a few times a week and some kale here and there. You do not have to overhaul your entire life. It is simply about weaving these gentle, living medicines into an effortless, everyday habit.
Which brings us to one final, very important question for you to consider. Which of these 10 prebiotic plants are you going to plant first? Remember, your garden, whether it's an acre of land or a single pot on your porch, is not just a place to grow food. It is the ultimate pharmacy, and it is waiting right outside your door. Think about what we've explored today. Pick just 1 or 2 of these plants to start with and begin feeding those trillions of tiny microbes that work so tirelessly to keep you well. Take your time, get your hands in the dirt, and take very good care of your gut.